The rig shakes, flames licking the Gulf sky, and every choice made comes crashing back. In West Texas, where oil is power and secrets are deadly, the final gamble isn't just about wealth, it's about family, survival, and betrayal. One mistake could destroy everything, and one strike could change the game forever. Who will rise? Who will fall? The countdown begins. Tommy Norris stands alone on the edge of the offshore rig, wind tearing through his hair, oil-slick metal groaning under the weight of danger. Every rig in the Gulf feels alive tonight, trembling with the chaos of decisions made too late. Cammy Miller's ambition burns hotter than the steel beneath their boots. She pushes for profit over safety, risking everything for a 10% chance to strike black gold, and Tommy knows the numbers aren't just about oil, they're about lives. Cartel threats shadow every move. Jimenez's voice haunts Tommy's mind, silk and venom intertwined. You owe us, Norris. At home, the Norris family teeters on the edge of collapse. Angela sweeps into Aninsley's life, dragging her away from dreams at TCU into a world of family chaos. Cheerleading ambitions fade under parental control, secrets and fear. Cooper and Ariana's engagement glimmers with false happiness, but beneath the rings sparkle. Old wounds and cartel ties fester, threatening to pull both of them under. Tommy watches, instinct screaming, feeling the storm before it hits. Cammy corners him at the rig launch, excitement lighting her eyes like fire. Risk is what makes us alive, Tommy, she says, daring him to match her madness. But the rig itself feels alive, warning in every creaking pipe and hiss of escaping gas. Workers cough, valves leak, and safety logs vanish into bureaucratic indifference. Tommy's promotion to president should feel like a victory, but it presses down like a noose, every decision tightening the loop around his neck. Money moves suspiciously through Galino, the billionaire with hands dirtier than the crude beneath the rig. Tommy suspects betrayal, whispers of sabotage reaching him like the wind off the Gulf. Valves tampered, alarms ignored. Saboteurs hiding in shadows, waiting for the perfect moment. He confronts Cooper in the dim light of the trailer, trying to warn him. This engagement, it's pulling us into fire, he says. Cooper's hands shake, the weight of Ariana's secrets pressing down. The cartel's reach is longer than family ties, and the risk is personal now. The family dinner dissolves into chaos. Angela's control, Aninsley's rebellion, Cooper's fear, and Tommy's frustration collide. Accusations fly like bullets. Old wounds reopen, reminding everyone that loyalty is tested in extremes, and love is fragile under pressure. Meanwhile, Cammy reports a malfunction on the offshore rig, pressure rising to critical levels, threatening a blowout that could sink the company, destroy lives, and ruin everything Tommy has fought to protect. The warning isn't subtle. It's screaming at him from the Gulf, a ticking bomb in steel and fire. Tommy drives the lonely highway, headlights cutting through the darkness, heart racing. He knows the stakes are higher than ever. Every call from Cammy, every whisper from Galino, every scream from the workers haunts him. The offshore rig is more than a structure, it's a crucible, testing loyalty, courage, and morality. Cammy's grief over Monty twists into vengeance, ambition becomes recklessness, and Tommy must decide where he draws the line. Protect the family, save the company, or watch it all crumble. There's no running from this. Back at the rig, chaos reigns. Valves hiss, alarms blare, and workers scramble for lifeboats. Tommy lands just in time, boots hitting metal slick with oil. Cammy hesitates near the blowout, pride clashing with survival instinct. Tommy pulls her towards safety as pressure climbs to critical levels. But someone lurks in the shadows, a saboteur, a traitor, paid to ensure failure. The rig groans, metal screaming in warning. One wrong move, one spark, and the Gulf will become a graveyard for dreams, families, and empires alike. Flames erupt, consuming the platform. Tommy shoves Cammy into a boat, then turns back for the last men trapped. Smoke chokes lungs, heat blisters skin, but every second counts. A young roughneck pinned under debris is saved just in time. Chaos and heroism collide, leaving devastation in the wake. The rig becomes a crucible of fire, water, and steel. Tommy saves what he can, but the true danger waits beyond the horizon, in betrayal, in family, in enemies watching every move. The night stretches long, filled with tension. Family, greed, loyalty, and revenge intertwine as the aftermath settles over West Texas. Tommy's choices will define what survives: the company, the land, or the family. And in a world where oil flows like blood and secrets breathe like flies, nothing is ever certain. One wrong call, one deal too far, and it all collapses. Dawn breaks over West Texas, but it brings no peace. Smoke still curls from the wrecked rig, a dark plume of ambition gone too far. Tommy surveys the aftermath, boots on oil-stained ground, eyes scanning for survivors. Cammy sits silently in the lifeboat, sits smeared on her face, the firelight of the rig still reflecting in her wide, unblinking eyes. Her gamble almost cost lives, and for a moment, she is smaller than Tommy ever remembers. He doesn't comfort her. He simply takes in the wreckage, the men he saved, the company on the brink, and the family pulled deeper into chaos. Back at the Tex headquarters, the boardroom feels like a battlefield. Lawyers exchange tense glances, murmuring about insurance claims, lawsuits, and the inevitable fallout from Cammy's reckless choices. Tommy knows this is just the start. He watches as Cammy, fueled by grief and fury, tries to spin survival into victory. Her ambition is relentless, yet she underestimates one truth. In West Texas, blood and loyalty always outweigh gold. Each decision, each misstep, carries consequences. He remembers Monty, his mentor, his friend, the man who warned him about unchecked ambition, and he knows Cammy is dancing on a knife's edge. Meanwhile, Cooper and Ariana are caught in their own storm. The club assault leaves Ariana battered and fearful, her past connections with Jimenez surfacing like ghosts threatening to pull them under. Cooper's fists still ache from the fight, but so does his conscience. Every beat of his heart is a reminder. Love alone won't protect her, nor will courage if the cartel sees weakness. Tommy's warnings echo in his mind. Deals with devils always come with a price, and the cartel's reach is long, patient, and merciless. Cooper wrestles with his options, torn between family loyalty and survival, knowing that one wrong choice could cost more than money, it could cost lives. At home, Angela tries to hold the family together, but control slips through her fingers. And Inslee's frustration bubbles into defiance. She packs her bag, ready to return to TCU, but Angela blocks her path. "We're family. We stay and fight," she insists. And Inslee snaps back. "Fight what?" Dad's in danger, Cooper's about to go to jail, and Mom's chaos is everywhere. Old wounds flare, words cutting deeper than knives. Angela admits the truth. She returned for money, for control, and secretly because she couldn't let Tommy drown alone. The confession leaves the room heavy with tension. Relationships are strained to the breaking point, and trust hangs by a thread. The night brings no relief. Tommy meets TL on the porch of the old family ranch. The patriarch's cough ragged, but his gaze sharper than ever. "You always fixed other people's messes, son. Now fix your own." Tommy lays bare the chaos, the rig, the cartel pressure, Cammy's destructive ambition. TL listens, the weight of generations in his eyes. Pride got Monty killed. Don't let it get you. Tommy feels the pull of walking away, of selling what he can, taking the family, and starting fresh. But before he can act, the phone buzzes, a crack in the rig's casing, gas leaking, evacuation underway. His instincts scream, abandon nothing, save everyone. Tommy climbs into the jet, heading back to the Gulf. Mid-flight, he calls Cooper. "Son, protect your sister and Ariana. Don't let the past bury you." Cooper's voice shakes. "Dad, I might have to make a deal." Tommy warns him, deals with devils cost souls. Silence stretches between them, heavy and suffocating. On the rig, alarms scream, metal twists, mud and gas surge. Men run for their lives. Cammy arrives by helicopter, refusing to stay ashore, drawn by the thrill of disaster she created. Fear flickers across her face, but pride keeps her rooted. The rig shakes as if alive, every second a battle between survival and hubris. Tommy lands, boots hitting slick metal, scanning for danger. He spots Cammy frozen near the blowout, defiance battling fear. "Get off now!" he yells, pulling her toward safety. Shadows move among the crew, a saboteur waiting to finish the job. The pressure climbs, valves scream, and the first sparks of disaster ignite. Tommy pushes through chaos, saving men trapped under debris. Smoke, fire, and oil collide in a deadly ballet. Every rescue carries the weight of mortality. Flames erupt, and the rig becomes a crucible of heroism and tragedy. One wrong move could end everything. Even as the rig burns, the threats on land tighten like a vice. Galino's wealth and manipulation stretch farther than anyone realizes. Cartel watchers move silently, measuring weakness. Tommy knows that survival here isn't just about courage. It's about strategy, timing, and knowing when to bend, when to break, and when to strike. The aftermath of the fire will leave scars, both visible and invisible. Families fractured, loyalties tested, and a legacy hanging by a thread. The smoke rising from the Gulf is only the beginning. The storm on the horizon is far deadlier. The Gulf smolders in the aftermath of the rig's explosion, black smoke curling into the sky like a warning. Tommy Norris stands on the deck of the lifeboat, soaked, exhausted, every muscle screaming, but his eyes are sharp, always scanning, always calculating. Cammy sits beside him, shaken but alive. For a moment, the fire of ambition in her eyes flickers into something softer, regret, fear, and the realization that some gambles are too high. But there's no time for reflection. The real threat has already moved beyond the flames. On land, the Norris family gathers under the vast Texas sky, tense and silent. Cooper grips Ariana's arm, protective and alert, but his fists clench for more than threats. He knows the cartel's reach stretches farther than they imagined. Annesley stands beside Angela, no longer the frightened girl, but someone ready to fight for what remains. TL watches from the porch, cane steady in hand, his gaze weighing each family member. Tommy steps forward, the burden of every decision pressing on him, knowing the final reckoning is here. The air is thick with anticipation, danger, and the possibility of salvation, or total destruction. From the shadows, Jimenez emerges, flanked by men whose hands rest near concealed weapons. Time's up. Norris, his voice calm but lethal. Every second stretches like a blade. The cartel is here for payment, revenge, and control. Cooper tightens his grip on Ariana, ready to fight, but Tommy doesn't reach for a weapon. Instead, he carries the weight of every choice, every sacrifice, every risk he has ever taken. He knows brute force alone won't win this. Strategy, timing, and the truth are his weapons now. Just as Jimenez signals, Galino steps forward, sharp suit, cigar glowing in the dim morning light. The billionaire's calm demeanor masks a lifetime of manipulation. "Gentlemen," he says, voice smooth as oil, "let's not be hasty." Tommy watches, heart pounding, as Galino reveals the truth. He orchestrated the rig's sabotage not to destroy Mtex, but to force Cammy to sell cheap. He already controls the majority, through shell companies. The cartel had been paid weeks ago, a cut of future production secured. Jimenez laughs low, incredulous, but Galino shrugs. "I bought everyone, including you." Tension crackles in the air like static before a storm. Tommy realizes the game was never just about oil. It was about power, control, and survival on a scale larger than he imagined. Galino offers the final deal: sign over the remaining family leases, secure immunity for his children, or risk bloodshed. Tommy looks at his family. Cooper shakes his head. "No," Annesley whispers. Angela meets his eyes. Silent permission to do what must be done. Tommy reaches into his pocket, pulling out a flash drive, the result of months of careful planning, evidence of sabotage, cartel payments, and recorded threats. "I sent copies to the FBI, DEA, and Texas Rangers. They're already moving." The revelation hits like lightning. Galino's smile falters. Jimenez draws a gun, but sirens erupt, red and blue flooding the lot. Federal agents swarm, shouting commands, guns raised. Chaos explodes, cartel men scrambling. Tommy watches as justice catches up, slow but relentless. Jimenez bolts for his truck, only to be tackled. Galino freezes, cuffs snapping around his wrists. Tommy's voice cuts through the commotion, calm yet commanding. "I play the honest game." Cammy arrives last, disheveled, observing from the car. There's no gratitude, only the silent acknowledgement that Tommy saved what she almost destroyed. The lot empties, the sun rising over West Texas, painting the rigs gold. Tommy walks back to his family. Cooper hugs him hard. "You did it, Dad." Ariana smiles through tears. Annesley buries her face in Angela's shoulder. TL claps Tommy on the back proud. The empire is gone, but the family remains. Scarred, smaller, but alive. Even as they drive away, the flies still circle the old text sign, symbols of decay, greed, and secrets exposed. Lawsuits will follow. Assets will be contested. But the Norris name survives. Tommy glances in the rearview mirror, taking in the fading horizon. No more fixing other people's messes. No more deals with devils. No more empires built on blood and ambition. Just a man, his family, and a future he can finally shape on his own terms. The tragedy came, the rig fell, the family rose. Flames, chaos, betrayal, and danger marked the path, but truth endured. And in this hard land, it's the only thing that lasts. Tommy Norris steps into the open road, the horizon wide, the past behind him, the future uncertain but free. Fade out on the empty highway, engine humming, family together, flies circling the remnants of ambition, and a final reckoning that proves power can burn, but family survives.